Hi, it's David here with Futures Trading. I'd like to welcome you to the channel. If you're new, we're going to take a look at this morning's activity and kind of give you an idea where the daily could possibly end up. If you're not familiar with trading at all, I suggest you do take the time to watch this video because a lot of what I'm going to say going to have a lot to do with this video, and I'll have the link below. So you're more than welcome to take a moment to take a look at that. But let's get into some of this information from this morning. All right, so we had a trend down. All right, so we had a trend down. I'm not going to go into all of the rules, but 7 bars closing lower. All right, and there's the trend distance. It went that far. Here's the trend back up. All right, and then of course there's the center of that trend. Once they get to the trend, I want you to take notice of this. Once they hit the trend, 7 bullish bars closing higher, they can rotate. All right, so once they make the 7 bars, well, get to that distance, they can rotate. And you can see that small rotation there because here's the 7th one here. But just kind of keep that in mind. And then, of course, once they make the distance, they can rotate a little bit more too. All right, so just want you to know that. But there's the center of the trend. If you are waiting for that long, there's the 7 back up. Once they pull back, just take out that distance. Try to get that to work for yourself. All right, so the next thing that we're going to take a look at is the bar pattern. So now if you were to have wanted to catch the bottom, let's take a look at that. Using the information that I disclosed in the other video there. Again, don't want to dive too much in that information, but there's the larger wick, smaller wick. All right, so if you wanted to try to capture that bottom, that's an opportunity for you to do so as well. All right, and if not, you could have did the same thing here. All right, you could have tried to get into it given that it would want to go up. That's the only thing. All right. So that's that information there. What we're primarily looking for. All right. This is what we're primarily looking for on the channel here. The universal pattern. This is very universal and it's very simple. All right. We just want the mid of this bar to fall beneath the prior bar's low. That's it. And if you're trying to go up, all right, so let's do the upside here. We want the mid of this bar here, the live bar. Now, this is the live bar that's trading. We're going to take a look at it while the market is actually moving. Wanted to be above that high so you can go up. All right. Wanted to be below that low so you can go down. Now, there's a pressure that'll flash. This is a 1 minute. The pressure in here will flash indicating that that's happening. All right. So I could have put it up here, but I didn't. It's down here. And this is just a 2-tick chart. It's doing the same thing. So if that scenario happened within 2 ticks, it'll show it to you right there on the axis there. All right, now, but this is the primary focus of what I want you to pay attention to because it's all over the chart. You can't take a trade without it actually showing up. All right, so let's go back to 9:30 and just kind of get a look at what that is. So once that happens, the bar will turn red for the stop, or green for that matter. So once it happens, all right, and the bar closes, you do not have to wait until the bar closes. We're going to take a look at it in real time so you can get an idea of what that looks like. When the bar is moving up and down, all right, you can go ahead and get in it once the mid of the live bar gets above the bar's high, and vice versa. When this bar's mid get beneath that low, take the trade. And here's the thing I want you to do. If you're new, I want you to go for what's reasonable. That's the main thing. You have to go for what's reasonable. Let's just give it an idea of what that is. Let's see if it can turn red. I'm going to tell you what's reasonable. Okay, it turned red. You're going for this much. That's it. Okay. And you don't want them to come back past that red bar. That's the only thing. And you're aiming right here. So you're expecting the market to get here. All in real time. It's really simple. If it clips the stop, that's fine. Sometimes you're going to have losers. That's how it works. But I have the expected distance for it to travel is here. Just go for the distance of the 2 bars. Okay, that's all you want to do. Try to make it simple. Don't overextend yourself trying to get trading to work. Please don't do that. All right, so that's in real time. Let's see if it can get down there without tagging this bar. Okay, this is the bar we don't want it to tag. Now, this is a no close level. So this bar right here becomes a no close level. So even if they hit that stop, you just want to see if they, will remain beneath this bar's high. Okay, that's all. You want to see if they do that. So if they manage to punch up, because sometimes they do that, they'll punch up, come back down, Even if they trigger that stop, you just don't want them to close above this bar. It's really just that simple. All right. Now let's see, can they get there? Now, that's the primary focus of the information, that right there. Let's look at that daily because I do want you to get an idea where the daily is going. Then we'll come back to that. All right. So, of course, they took that dive yesterday. Now, if you were able to uh, come over to the channel here, just click on the videos. I did a video yesterday. I didn't have any audio in it. I just put the information, the rules on the chart because I wanted you to follow along without any kind of analoging. I didn't want to have to talk to you about it because I want you to focus. It's just rules. That's all it is. And I put the rules right on the chart. And you can see that that trend was there. And again, I put that zone there and they failed and they made the trend and the trend distance. So you're more than welcome to definitely go back and take a look at that information there. And that's that big decline that they did on yesterday. That big drop is what that, essentially turned into. Now, I do suspect, I do suspect this is a trend down. I have, this is a trend down as well as this is a trend up. I do suspect that they're going to go through this high. Now, let's talk about how far they should go. All right, so we're going to do this. I can definitely see them up to here. So here up to, let's say 250, 25. We're going to go statics here. So 25, they may want to reach right into this zone. All right, and I'm going to break down the zone just a little bit more, but I'm going to give you something to expect if it's going to continue to the upside. So we're going to go 1,500, 2,500. Right. Oh, man, I didn't mean to do that. Let's put that there. So 1,500, 2,500, we're going to kind of go right in there, and then we're going to break this down just a little bit more. All right, so that's how far I suspect that they may want to go if they get through that high. And we're going to talk about that too, because if they get through that high, there's something else I want you to pay attention to. So let's go 550. Let's see, where is that? 550 up to 650. They definitely should get here if they're going outside the high. I'll just type it in. 550 up to 650. We're going to go here. And I'll come back once they get here. And we'll take a look at how all of that played out. All right, so, and I'm going to give you some information to the downside should they want to turn back around. And see, and that's the other part too. So let's go 850 to 9. Oh, got the wrong one there. 850, 950. Let's go 850. 850 to 950. Okay, so 850 to 950. I'm going to do all this in front of you. We're going to come back into that 1 minute. We're going to pick that apart just a little bit more as well. So we're going to go 850, 950. All right. And then there's just one more zone I want to put inside of here if there's going to be a reaction. All right. So if there's going to be a reaction from all of this, I suspect 950 up to 50. I passed it. All right. So right there, if there's going to be a reaction, it may end up being this. Let's just make that darker. So we're going 950 up to 050 here. So we're going to do all of that. Put that right there. Now I could break that up just a bit more if they wanted to go past that, but let's just go at least right there. All right, now let's go to the downside here. Let's go 9.5 down to 8.5, and then we're going to break this up as well. 9.5 down to 8.5. All right. All right, so 9.5 down to 8.5, 9,500 down to 8,500. Just kind of put this in front of you. Trust me, we'll be right back to that. I just want to do this so you can know what the daily opportunities could look like. All right, so let's do this as well. Let's kind of break this up too. So let's go 250 down to 150. 250 down to 150. If they want to reach in here just a bit, I'm going to try to break this up down to 150. And I hope that you find the information well. If this is your first time here, I hope that you'll find this information very useful. And if you've already been here and you, again, just wanting to learn the material just a bit more, stick around. There's a lot of information on the channel to familiarize you with all of it. There's quite a few videos I've done on this too. What I'm doing right now is placing static price levels out there. And so this is important as well, knowing where the market can turn at potentially anyway. Potentially, I won't say that. It don't have to, but potentially it can. We're going to kind of zone this out if it want to dip back. Now, I believe it shouldn't come. I don't think it should come past here. So I'm going to stop that. I'm going to stop right there. I don't believe it should. All right. So this is what I think. All right. So I think, yeah, yes, we can see it through this high. And I want to put this too. Let me put this here. Uh, they may give you the one that went back down. You're going to get a break with one up, one. Well, let's do it like this. Without, because it can do it different ways. Without consecutive closes, and we're going to go into something smaller so you can kind of see how this works. All right, so you're going to get a break if they can run up here. Okay, if they can run up here, I doubt they'll give that consecutive close. I doubt it. So let's get the high here. What is the high? 218.75. Let's kind of pick this apart. 218.75. Okay, so 218.75, and we're going to come back and take a look at this. All right, 218. Did I do that right? 218. I think I did that wrong. Hold on just a moment. Let me get this high again. Okay, 212.18, 212.18.75, 212.18.75, 212.18.75. All right, so let's put that in there. All right, so we're going to look for them to break that high, okay? But there's a good chance they won't give consecutive closes and they may lean back. And this is what they're trying to, I guess, create right now, a base that it can lean back into in order to get up here. Now, it can run straight away into this zone. I have you know that. But there's a good chance that they won't do that. Let me kind of show you a couple examples of that. So here, when they break the high, usually they won't give you consecutive closes. And they gave it to you, which is good because that means they can move higher. Let's see what they did when they came to this one. On this one, they gave you, one up, one back down. Okay, they broke this. They didn't give you two. And then, of course, they broke this. This is a pivot as well. They went outside that high and stopped. They gave you one up, one back down. All right, so just kind of keep that in mind. Now, when they turned around, this is yesterday, they broke this low, but they managed to come back and close right inside that low. So let's get that low. 79. Here's the close. 87. Hold on. 87. So yes, they came back and closed above that low. So they don't like to do that. I just have you know that. Now let's go back in here. All right, so they ran against our bar. Okay, they ran against our bar. They didn't want to go down. Now, if that be the case, let's just do it this way. All right, so if that be the case, let's take a look at it. We're going to do more of this in real time too. They flip the scenario. All right, so then you would do this. You go for what's reasonable. Okay, just go for what's reasonable. It's just that simple. Let's see if they'll do it for this one as well. Let's just see. As long as they don't break the green bar, that's important. Okay, as long as they don't break that green bar, let's see if they'll turn around and go back up here. Let's just see if they want to make it. But you don't want them passing the green bar. All right, let's see if they can get that done. All right, now with the hourly, and then we'll come back in here. If you're looking for an alternative to turning points, these are time ranges. All right, so the time ranges are 12:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to 1:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that's the gray one. All right, so that's like the overnight before the London session. Then you got the blue one, which is 6:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to 7:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, and this is an hourly chart. I just plot them up here. But if you take it down to a 1 minute, you'll see a lot of that. Just a lot of the whipsaw, the back and forth. You'll see a lot of that going on. All right, so that's what you have there. So they kind of managed to jump right off of that overnight. They didn't want to stay beneath there. And then, of course, they came back into it. And the goal is to get them above the center of these time ranges. That's all, the center. Okay, so that'll kind of frame that out for you. They're flipping the pattern. Okay, they're kind of doing what they did down here. Now, it cannot be both. All right, so it can't be both. So if they don't want to go there, okay, if they don't want to go there, let's just aim back this way and see if they want to do that. Let's just see. Okay, so that's saying if they're going to come down, then they may want to get here. I don't know. We got to see. We just got to see. All right, so if they trigger this bar right here, that's them expecting it to drop this far. Okay, that's expecting it. Now, if you go with this pattern here, let's see. All right, they might have made this one too. So because this bar is green as well, so you take those two bars. Yeah, they pretty much made that. All right, so that's cool. All right, so if they're turning the corner and they're not wanting to stay up, all right, let's count our trend. Let's put that together too. All right, so we got a trend down. I can clearly see that. All right, so we got one, there's two, there's three, here's four. Let's see what that close is. Close 259.75. What is this close? 259. That's five. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there's 7. So that's 7. All right. So there's that distance. All right. So that would have lost. Okay. This one would have won. And this one, if you got in late, that would have won. This one wouldn't have worked. So you would have had 2 losses. Here's your win. It's coming back this way. All right. So now let's get our trend here. Make it simple. Do not overcomplicate trading. All right, don't do that. All right, and we'll talk about some of that other stuff that's below us right here on the other charts. We can just touch on that just a hair. But the goal is to give you rules to follow along with, something that's really simple. All right, what are we going for? What are we going for? All right, we're going for what's reasonable. Got to make sure that you go for just that. All right, so let's do the same thing. Let's do the same thing. I hope you're keeping up with what's going on here. Give or take. Let's take. All right, so right about there, I overshot that just a bit. So that's saying this. All right, so they'll get there. Make trading simple. Do not make it hard, please, whatever you do. Don't ever make trading hard. You'll never get your trading work if you do. I promise you, you won't. You want to make it as simple as possible so you'll be able to succeed in this business. All right, so here, that's the trend distance. They kind of made it, then rotated. Remember, I told you that they'll do that. So just kind of keep that in mind as well. All right, so that's the distance of that trend. They made it and they lifted up. All right, so they kind of paused when they set the trend here. Now let's look at it from this side, because if you want it to go up, you would go here, 2, okay, and they all have to be higher. That's 3. I believe this close higher. 34.50 close 34.50. Okay, so that's 4. That's 5. Let's see what we got here. Close 248. 6, and there's 7. Okay, so remember, when they make the trend, that they will rotate. All right, now keep mind of the rules. Everything that I've just told you, I want you to follow along and keep mind of the rules. There's somebody watching this that need the help. All right, I created the channel for those that just really need to simplify their trading and get it to work in a very systematic, very simple way without a whole lot of convoluted, rehearsed rhetoric online. All right, I'm not regurgitating anybody's information. Everything that I'm telling you, been doing it for a very long time. All right, been trading for a very long time. You will not hear no regurgitation of content here. Been doing this for a very, very long time before any of that popular information that's online being promoted right now. And if that's your approach to trading, I absolutely, again, wish you all the best with that. It's not to say it can't work, but want to make sure that you understand the market's been just doing the same thing for a long time. All right, so if they're not going to go past, let's get our center of our trend here. All right, so this is the center of our trend. It's the COT, okay? And if they're not going to pass this, well, guess what? They were going to go back down anyway. All right, so let's just kind of put that there. Make it simple. Don't make it complicated. All right. You can use whatever tools you want to use. It's absolutely okay. You don't have to have my tools. You can use whatever tools that you would want. All right. So now What's below us? All right, so it's really simple. All we're trying to do down here, trap the color. Okay, that's all we're trying to do. So we get, some red in here. Just want to run past it. That's it. That's all it is. It's really simple. It's not the same bar color. All right, so the bar color down here is not the same bar color up here. That's the only thing. So there's a little bit different information down here. That's all. And so this morning, I know they had the news. I know they did have some news here. Let's kind of, you see all these green bars over here. Let's kind of throw a level back here, and we're trying to, of course, try to get them to stay above that. That's a lot of information there. A lot of information that's important. They kind of got stuck beneath this high because of yesterday's decline. Let me kind of share that with you. You got a lot of red over here on that decline that had when they dropped down. So they've been kind of compressed. But definitely once they turn this corner, you see them attempting to drop it, and they're turning around. They're getting above the red. See, they had some red in here and they jumped above it. Okay, well they're going up. To a certain degree, you got to expect that. So what you do is you just look back here and see where is it, that they were active. And of course, they moved into there, and the same thing here. They kind of held this area at the news, but then they eventually, popped past it. But let's get these levels here. You had a couple levels right in here, along with those ones that was above it. So the news kind of popped in there, jumped out, and then that's when it came back and kind of drove through it, and then hit directly down into the zone here. And so now up at this high, I know we got a little bit of information here. So let's just do this. I know they're running into this, but it's important that they do not go but so far. So you got that, and you got this information here. Let's see if they could stay up. Now on the hourly, so if we're talking about, I know we got the information that I just went over with this here. We had that happen on this daily. All right, so we had of course, this bar's mid fell beneath that low on that daily. All right, so right here on the daily, the mid of this bar on yesterday fell beneath that low. So this could potentially be a hard stop. Now let's blow the daily up so you can see. But we got, again, we got the green bars back here. All right, so we got a green bar here, got a green bar here. Same information that we're going over on the 1 minute chart. And got the same information over there. Now, when it comes to the hourly, if you want to get a longer term perspective on all of this, it's in a downtrend. Let's see if we got an uptrend. So we got this low. Okay, what is that low? 0850. I believe they went lower. Okay, yeah. 1, 2. That's 3 and 4, and that's 5. So this is only 5 up on the hourly. So they can trend back down if they want. Okay, so if you into that fractal alignment thing and you're trying to swing trade, this could lead them back down. It could, but they can turn it, turn it around and go back up. They can. All right. So will this be a high on the hourly to cause it to drop and go back down? I don't know. You have to follow the market. It's really just that simple. Follow what it is that they're suggesting. But on a simple basis, if they're going to go up, yeah, let me make sure I measure that right. I want to get the right measurement here. All right, so yeah, so that's saying that they can get here. This didn't work. Okay, this one right here didn't work. So in terms of what failed, let's just go with what failed. We tried to get this to work. That didn't work. And then of course this one didn't work. Okay. Now I suggest that you don't go both ways. I want to tell you that. Don't go both ways. So this one wouldn't have worked either. Let's see if we can stay down. All right. So we're going to try to go with what they're doing. All right. So if they're in a downtrend, let's just try to go down. How about that? So that'll be 3 losses so far. Okay. So you would have lost on this short. They would have turned around and went up. We're not going to count. Yes, we can count this because that is an uptrend. So we'll count that. So we can get this one to work. Maybe even that one too. But this one definitely wouldn't work. Now, if you want to go back with the trend, if you want to go back with the trend from above, then yes, we can count that. And if you don't want to go with that one, well, you can go with some conviction and go with this one, either which one, because this one is saying that this may not work at this point. All right. It's kind of simple. I don't want to tell you too much, but if this is not going to go up, well, let's go ahead and get that going. All right. And so, and they managed to come back down and clip that trend there. All right, so we only have two here, so that's just two. So they can turn back around. They can on every bar, and this is something I'll tell you. You have a threshold. So these two little black lines, that's important. So when they pull into this area on these two little black lines, let me blow it up a little bit more so you can see it. Those two little black lines on the bar, this is your wick zone. So you want to see price kind of go into here and wick and go back in the direction in which it was headed. Okay. That's not happening currently. It's wanting to go up. And of course, each bar got it. So this bar has it as well. This is your wick zone. So if it's going to go up, you want to see it come into the wick zone and proceed in the direction by which it was already headed. All right. It's really simple. Don't make it complicated. All right. So this bar didn't turn colors. So we can't take that short. Now, because I went over the, let's go and get that for you. I'll have a link below to all of this. Because I went over pretty much most of what I'm telling you, but in more detail here, go back and watch this video. I have the link below the video for you. But that is important. Okay, there's a couple of other nuances to this, but I definitely want to make mention of this pattern, this right here. This is really, really, important. Now you had a trend up here. Let's count our trend back up because you had one down. Had our trend up. Maybe they want to hold this one and just getting stuck between two. Maybe that's it. So let's go 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's 1, 2, 3. Let's go 4, 5, 6, 7. You see, they rotate. So just be careful. All right. So now if you want to count the trend down here, let's do that as well. So we got 1, 2. No, and that one went higher. So let's go 1. That green bar went higher. So we got to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there's 7. Be careful because they'll rotate. They tried to give a little move right there, but then it broke down. Now remember what I just told you about that daily and that high. Remember we just talked about that. Them not wanting to give the consecutive closes outside of that high. Down here at this bottom, look, okay, look at that. Break the and then came right back to you. All right, so just be careful. Just be careful. All right. Just want to kind of keep that in mind. Should they do it? Now, this is what it looks like when they do it. All right. So this one wasn't it. So they broke it, didn't want to do it. This one here. So let's go across. Okay. So out of this area here, once they get through it, and they can give you two fairly immediate. That's important. They got to do it fast. Once they break it. All right. So there's another one. They gave it to you fairly immediate. Once they break it, yeah, I'll go that way. Here, same thing. Okay, that'll help you out. All right, so they did it fairly quick. Yeah, they can go. They can go again. All right, just be careful when they stop doing it. That's all. Just be careful. All right. All right. So they're trying to turn it back around. Let's see what happens here. Let's just see. All right. So they broke this high. So they broke that pattern there. They broke that pattern. All right. So let's get our center of our trend for this. Let's get our center of our trend. So that's roughly here. All right, now they can't do this all day long. I have it has to go somewhere. Whether it's up or down, it's going to have to move. It can't just stay in this little sideways motion, which people say the market isn't trending. It's always trending. You just gotta scale down. That's all. You gotta scale down. And this is a 1 minute. If it's not trending here, it's trending somewhere. Even if it's just within a handful of ticks, it's still trending because the market mimics itself. It does the same thing over and over and over again. And when you understand that, it's all about timing. That's all. It's not that the market isn't trending. I know a lot of people say that, but that's not really the case. So that's our center. So that's our center right there. That's not really the case, at least not from which the markets are viewed from me. Now, someone else may go with something different, but from what I see, the market is always trending. It's just whether or not you can time yourself and exit in a time window that's feasible for you to get your target hit. All right, so now about halfway. They haven't gotten all the way there yet. Maybe they're going to make it. This didn't work. So this didn't work. So contextually, they're still operating within this trend. All right, and of course, this over here. That didn't want to go either. We'll come right back to that. Let me measure this out for you so you can kind of get an idea of what it is that I'm trying to get you to learn. And of course, repetition is important. So that's why I'm kind of just putting this in front of you again. And almost all the videos are echoing the same message as it should be, because trading isn't about changing what you're doing. You got to get something that works and keep doing it. All right. Don't change what you're doing, because the market is only doing what it's doing, which is up and down. It doesn't change. It's not going left to right. Every day that you wake up, it's just doing up and down. All right. So you don't have to have a whole bunch of different things to get this to work. You can just have maybe one or two things that you look for, and it should work out for you. Now, additionally, you can put some timing information on it if you would like. And again, pick whatever you would like to use. But again, it's really simple. Try to get a format. This is a format. Try to find your trend, and you don't have to have any kind of moving averages or trend lines. You don't have to do any of that. Actually, you can just count the bars. Just count the bars. And you should be able to find what it is that you're looking for. Now, if this blue line, okay, falls beneath that low, I see the pressures are coming on here. So that's saying that it's doing it. But let's see if this bar will turn colors. And again, while the bar is moving, that's the key. While the bar is moving, respectfully, this blue line is the mid of this live bar. You can get in the trade and have to stop right there, right now. Now, once the bar closes, you would go for what's reasonable. All right, so hold on. We're getting a little bit more distance on this. So now we would go, and don't shortchange yourself. You would go for this if it wants to go down. All right, so give or take, yeah, right there. So where it just stopped, okay, the bar turned red, and again, it happens in real time. And when it's doing it, when that mid fall beneath that low, that's when you would go ahead and fire the trade off with the stop here, and then go for that expected distance. And I have pressures again that gives you that information that tells you that it's taking place. All right, so if you can't just visually see it, then you'll have the information provided to you as well. So templates, all of these indicators, all this stuff is, of course, available to you if you want it. Whole bunch of indicators. I tried to code as many as possible for all different types of trading styles that you want to go with. But at the end of the day, I want to make sure that you understand you do not need no indicators at all. This is what you're looking for, majority. Okay, and just like you go to the doctor, they perform procedures. Just like you go to courts, they have proceedings. Well, there need to be a procedural approach to trading. All right, so you have to have a procedural way of doing trading. It needs to be simple, very systematic, because the markets are moving in a very systematic way. It may appear to be very erratic and is unpredictable, and I get that. It can appear to be that way if you don't know what to look for. Now, if they're going to go up, let's do this. Let's say they're going to go back up and don't want to break down. They are expected to get here if they're not going to break this green bar. All right. So they can still turn around, run right back up there and hit this distance. All right. Have you know that? The goal is to keep them from taking out your red bar. Okay. That's the goal. Don't let them take out the red bar or the green bar. Just like they went up and then they stopped before they got to the red bar. Now, remember, I told you the one right after it is a no close bar. So you don't want them closing above this bar either. So this bar right here, you don't want them to close above here. So let's see if they'll just trade above it and turn around and come back down. Now, it's indicating that that's happening back to the upside right now. So you see the pressure is firing off. It's indicating that they're trying to get majority to take it back up. I strongly suggest to you to go in a direction that's, you know, right there. It's in a downtrend. However, from below, they're trading back into the center of this uptrend. And so you got to make sense of which one makes, for a better trade. And again, can you get out of it before your target, or your stop? Well, before your stop get hit. Can you get your target hit before your stop get hit? That's what it's about. It's always about that. All right. So this is a trend. This is a trend distance. So each bar is a trend. I want to make sure I explain that to you too. It's very simple. Don't make this stuff complicated. This is a trend. This is a trend distance. So when they make the second bar, that's the trend distance. Oftentimes, if they're going to keep trending, they'll go again. They'll go again if they're going to keep trending. So if they're going to keep trending down, don't break this bar. Don't break this trend. Okay. And let's go back down. Now again, every bar, I want to say this to you, every bar is a trend. What we're trying to identify is majority. All right. So where is the majority? All right. Now, I went over that in the last video, because whenever you have the majority controls the minority. All right. I want to say that to you. It compels them to follow. So they have to follow you. And that's what makes it a little different when dealing with bars like this. All right. So you may get bars like this, whole nother kind of encounter, whole nother situation that you're dealing with. All right. So smaller bars doing this, it's not to say you can't take those kinds of trades. You absolutely can. I just have you know that it's just a little bit different. That's just a little bit different information that can happen from these bars per se than the one that does the majority. So you want to find the majority. All right. So they're turning it back around. They didn't break our red bar. And again, it's one and the same. It's pretty much one and the same. It should fall in the same area. Okay, so we would do this. And yeah, it's pretty much falling in the same area, coming off the same pattern. So that makes sense. All right, let's see if they'll get back down there. Again, you're in a downtrend. You're in a downtrend. Try to go down if you can. Just if you can. If it's at all possible, just try to stick with what they're doing. If you're someone that's trying to capture the turn to see if it'll reverse back up, they didn't do that well with this trend. I'm not going to say that they're going to be able to nail it this time. They may fail at it this time. They may get it down a bit more. You have to be the judge of all that information. All right. Now, so what happens when it slows down? Let's talk about that, because I actually mentioned that in that video. All right, I mentioned that in that video. I'm not going to go into great detail about it, but I'm gonna give you a couple of examples, just a couple of them. All right, because it slows down too. It does. All right. So when the market slows down and it's not willing to give you this scenario, I'm gonna give you another scenario to look for. All right. So here you have a bar. Now, I don't really care what color it is. I don't. So you have a bar here. Typically, you're going to get at least 4 bars inside of this one. All right. Now, I have an indicator that outlines that and even give you what happens, around the bar. Okay. It's something that you're needing to look for around that bar. Okay. But I'm going to show you the bar. Okay. So here's one. It had 4 bars trapped inside of that body. Okay. Let's find you another example. Here's one right here. Okay. There's 4 bars trapped inside that candle's body. Okay. I believe this one is one as well. Yeah. All right. So you had this one here. You had 4 bodies trapped inside that candle. All right. Really simple stuff. Trying to help you get there. All right. So let's see. Is this one? Yeah, I think this one is one as well. This one here had 4 bodies. The bodies, all right. We're not talking about the wicks trapped inside that candle. Now, this may be one for us too. Okay. This may be one for us. So I'm trying to help you know when it should take off. That's what this is about right now, what I'm trying to do. So you got, yeah, you got, this is 3. Can they get it going? Let's see. Can they get it going and go ahead and run down the board? Up here, let's see. What do we have? Yeah. So we had this one here. 4 bodies trapped inside that candle. All right, 4 bodies trapped inside that candle. Try to give you an idea of when it should kind of just take off. When will it take off? Let's find us another one. Just repetition, trying to give you some repetition. All right, so we had 4 bodies. Okay, well, actually, you had more than 4. 4 bodies trapped inside of that candle. All right, just trying to give you some repetition, want to give you something to look for. So now we're approaching that 4th one. All right, now when are we going to take off? Trying to help you see it. When are we going to take off? When are we going to take off? It's a lot of information I'm trying to throw at you, and I hope that you are finding this information useful. If so, hit the like button. Hit the like button. I want to help you get your trading to work at no cost. Don't have to absolutely spend anything. Yes. So we got four bodies trapped inside that candle. Okay, so there's the signal there. There's that signal there. There's that signal. All right. There's that signal. Yeah, it's on. I do have it on the chart. I thought it wasn't up here. All right, so I got it up here. Let's see. I thought I didn't have it. Let me see. Where is it at? Okay, manipulation. All right, so let's go ahead. It's another indicator that you could use in conjunction with this indicator. Let's make it just a little bit bigger. Yeah, let me make it a little bit bigger. Man, let's make it a little bit bigger here. It's another indicator that I have that plots some other information around it so you'll know what to look for. All right, so yeah. So now you'll see a bigger signal here. All right, there's a bigger signal here trying to help you know what will happen. Okay, what will happen when that signal shows up? It's indicating something to you. All right, just letting you know timing, just trying to help you time how long this should last, because the market, it stalls out. That's what it does. Okay, that's what it does. It stalls out. Okay, my indicators are meant to help you trade. That's all. Help you. It's not going to do it for you. It's going to help you. It's just going to give you an idea. And because I'm explaining this to you, you should be okay without them. That's the other thing I have you know. So I'm not here to make any kind of money off you. I'm here to educate you, try to get you as much information as possible so your trading can work. Let's go back and look at 930. They're almost at our distance here. All right, so they're almost there. They're working their way to it. Let's go and look at 930, then we'll come right back. All right, so we had that indication here. We had it here. Let's see if we can find another one. We had it here. Okay. We had it here. We had it here. Here. Okay. Really simple stuff. Don't want to make trading hard. Trading is not difficult. I have you know that. It's very simple. You just need to know what to look for. Really important that you get that part of it. All right. So now let's look at, okay, so they're almost at our distance. What are you going for? All right. Remember, I told you have to go for what's reasonable. Okay. What's reasonable. Okay. Make sure you always go for what's reasonable. I can't stress that to you enough. All right. Really want to say that to you. So, all right. So they're coming here. Clearly, they're going to blow it. I absolutely wholeheartedly believe they're going to blow right through this. Um, this right here, if they were intending to go back up, that should have got them going. In my opinion, that should have got them going. Now, remember, on our hourly, they never made the 7 bars up. So, am I saying that they're not going to go back up? That's not what I'm telling you. That's not what I'm telling you. But I'm trying to give you perspective. So if you're seeing your 1 minute performing in a manner in which that it doesn't want to complete its process, okay, I want you to take a moment, just take a step back, evaluate the potential. You don't need all these other time frames in order to trade. You don't. I have them up here, but you don't need them. You can just trade this chart. That's why we went over here to 930. Okay, we don't need another time frame. A lot of times people can get in trouble because you're looking at too many time frames. So I want to address that as well. Let me say that to you. You can trade just this time frame. You know, there's a lot of traders out there, top down approach. Listen to me. I want to say this to you. Every turning point on a monthly chart, a 1 minute chart, a 1 day, a daily chart starts with one tick. So a small time frame can turn a larger time frame around because it's about the initiative of majority. If the initiation comes in that they have no interest on taking price in that direction anymore, it's going to begin to show itself on all time frames, but it will start on one price level. Okay, so want to make sure you understand the market. You could trade just one chart if it's too much information to try to formulate, because you're trying to essentially formulate sustainability. And I'm trying to kind of point out to you time inside of this. That's why I'm telling you about, hey, for inside of here, that may be something to pay attention to. Okay. I want to let you know, okay, now this is reasonable. Go for this much. So this can take, 2 bars to get there. It can take 1 bar. I'm trying to give you just context. How long should it take for it to get there? Okay, just want to kind of put that in front of you, kind of slow it down, have you look at one time frame. But if contextually, if you want to swing trade the market, that's why we went here. Okay, I want to show you what's possible. Now, there's a zone around these bars. This is the map. So this is the DTT map, another indicator that's provided with the sweep. It gives you zones, potential zones beneath price as well as above price, as to how far the market will trade and potentially not close. I want to tell you that. So this is the wick zone. Okay, on the daily, this is the wick zone. This is our threshold. They're pulling into the threshold. This is the wick zone. I'm providing you where the bar can actually potentially not close. Yesterday, they managed to close outside of the zone. So the zone is dynamic, it changes every day. And so it tells you, potentially this is where the market may not close. All right. Yesterday, they managed to close outside that zone. So I do know there's a bit of pressure to force this down. All right. This is the wick zone. We're on the wrong side of this, in my opinion. We need, price to close above that 268. All right. So the 268.75, which is, well, 268.66 but it's 268.75. We want to see them close above that. That's not exactly shaping up. Okay. Can we at least get them above 164.50? Let's say 164.50 today. Can we at least get them to close above there? Still not ideal, but if you want to get them climbing back up, we will want to be above the threshold. All right. So this is our wick threshold. Want them to be above it. We don't want the wick to be coming in below, below it. All right. So it's really simple. Try to make sure that you understand that. Now, if you want to go long, again, there's the hourly. It's not on 7 bars. It can potentially turn into that. It can, if you want to use those time ranges. Just want to see them stay above these ranges, the center of them, preferably. So that's right around that 100. Let's just say 100, somewhere in there. See if they can stay above it, and climb up higher. I do suspect that this bar is a problem. It's blue outline. There's a reason for it. I do suspect that that's a problem. So they may not want to get past that bar. We had a blue outline bar up here that kind of kicked it all off. All right, so let's you had it down here on this bottom. They tried to come in here, but they couldn't stay down. You had one here. They kind of dove into it and popped up, kind of came back. Put you one, slid under it just a bit. Then you had them in here, and then they came in, tried to respond. But then you had a blue outline bar up here, and they've been just crushing it. Here's a blue outline bar. They overshot it, but then they came with this one. Now, this is the one I want you to pay attention to. If we're going to dive lower on the daily, they won't pass this bar. More often than not. I know they kind of slid. I don't think they'll do it twice. I'll just say that. I don't think they'll do it back to back. So let's see if they can just stay up. So if you're trying to swing trade, that'll help you out. All right. We got our pattern. All right. So we got our pattern, but they're in a downtrend, kind of the wrong thing, So there's the green bar. There's the green bar. Okay. This is the no close bar. See how they shot under it, but they didn't close. Okay. You had a green bar here, but they didn't want to make that work. So you had this one here. Now remember, this is a no close level, this bar right here. They traded under it. Okay. They traded under it, but they didn't close, and that's the hard stop bar. Hard stop bar. This is a hard stop bar. So maybe let's just turn it around. Let's go ahead and get back to it. I don't like this blue outline bar, but definitely when they get past this, that should definitely have a trend. You should have the trend before you pass this bar. It should be an uptrend here. So let's see if they can go ahead and get that back working going into next week, so they can get through that high on the daily. But you don't need, I want to say this, so you don't need a lot of information to get this to work. I thought that they was going to go ahead and go through that uptrend here. I thought they was going to get through that, but they're not doing it. Let's see. Let's just measure this out and see if they're going to do this distance. Let's see. And that's saying that they can get up here. That's saying that. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm sorry, 5 is here. So that's 5. Got to see if they can get up there and pull that off. That's all. Got to see if they can get up there and pull that off. All right. So that's my time with you. I just wanted to put this back in front of you, give you some perspective, something to expect. So when you're trading, I want you to start with this pattern here. Okay, start with this here if you're new. If you've already been on the channel, still, if you can, support the information by hitting the like button or share the information with someone else. We're trying to get traders help. That's all, help. Very, very simple information that makes trading just a little bit more digestive, something that you can go into the chart and you can hurry up and begin to spot the opportunity. I strongly suggest to you, if you get a chance on this weekend, go back and watch this video. All right, because there's a couple other majority principles, well, ways to look at it. It's one principle majority, but there's a couple other ways that I didn't dive all the way into in this video. All right, so I'm giving you one particular way I want you to see this. It's a very universal pattern, very universal, and it's the thing that gets it to go. There's two more things to look for that deals with majority that's in this chart. That way you're able to get your trading to work. It's very simple. If you are in the market for tools, I'll say this to you, you don't need it, but if you're in the market for tools, I have them, loads of them. I don't want you to spend hundreds and thousands of dollars for indicators. You don't need to do that. 200 bucks, $200 can get you so many indicators. Price action based indicators too. There's an IN up here. It's increase. All right. So there's a lot of indicators. There's some different indicators I put on the chart in yesterday's video here. You're more than welcome to go back and take a look at that. All right. So loads of information that if you want to, and you want to, again, and heighten your chances and increase your odds of being able to win, you can have the tools. I have all kinds of plots, single bar plots, dual bar plots, triple bar plots, quadruple bar plots to keep you in the trade, to let you know, hey, it's okay. This should work. You know, they're doing this. And again, you'll be provided the workspace. So this workspace, and there's another one that I have. I'm not going to pull it up, but there's another one that I have for you that has multi-time frames, all the different time frames in it with all this information. And you can utilize them however you feel. And just, you know, again, build your trading around what's free. So everything on the channel that I'm disclosing to you is worth more than $200. This stuff is worth thousands of dollars. I've been, again, been doing this for a very, very long time. I figure I'll come back in this capacity and help you traders that need help to make it simple. All right. So I've already ran a company online, took my company offline years ago. So I'm not some young YouTuber up here regurgitating information. I have you know that. All right. I'm trying to make sure that you understand that the chart is moving in a very systematic way. People that have literally done this professionally for years knows this, and I know it. All right. I've been doing this for a very long time. If you're new to the space, please, please take a moment. 42 minutes can change how you look at a chart. All right. And I don't have any kind of prop firm links below my videos. All right. I'm not trying to send you into the mouth of the lion. I want to enhance your odds of being able to win. All right. So this is not that. All right. I want to tell you that. All right. So give you context, try to help you get there in a way that makes sense. All right. I wish you all the best with your trading. I will come back. Let's see, can we get them through this high? And I'll be back once that happens. All right. So that may be, you know, a couple weeks out, maybe a month, 2 months. Let's see. I don't think it'll take 60 days to get up here. Shouldn't. Let's see, can we get them through this high? And I'll be back and we'll take a look again. All right. So I wish you all the best with your trading. Take care.